This is a super quick video about Tweetdeck and how I've been using it. I just took a little bit of time to figure out this new layout, and I'm finding it to be really useful for me, and thought that y'all might find it useful as well because it's made it a lot more pleasant to use and a lot more just engaging in general. I'm finding it easier to engage with people who I want to engage with. So let's just do a super fast overview of my setup. So here's my Club Momo deck. You can make multiple decks if you have Zen Academy, Club Momo, Personal, and Feeds. So Club Momo, I have 4 columns set up. You can add columns and pick from a bunch of different things. You can look through this on your own time. I am using them in a couple of specific ways. Here's the Club Momo list. So what this is I went to add column and I went to lists, and you can see all of the different lists options that you have. And here's the Club Momo community, and this is the one that you automatically join through the Discord bot. So I added this list, and then let's see if it'll let me do it. I think there's some weird thing about it. So you see right now it has all these retweets and stuff, which is why lists kind of suck in Twitter. So what we're gonna do is go to options and then convert this to a search column. We click that, and now it's a search column, which I guess like automatically, like you see it just took all the retweets out, which is exactly what we want. We don't want to see all these retweets. So right out the gate, this is like already way better. And then you see, I see myself in here. So what I did was excluded tweets from myself. You shouldn't do that. Don't exclude my tweets, but exclude your own tweets. And now have this column named kind of ugly. We can rename it Club Momo List. And here's all the people who are in the list. So these are all our fellow members. Just right out the gate, we can see that there's not, I'll go back over to my main one over here, now that I showed you how to set it up. These are all the people that we should be engaging with. We like each other, show some love, and whenever, especially if you see somebody tweeting something, like, at least throw it a like, and replying to something is way better than likes. It shows up in everybody's feed, it looks good. Everybody should strive to be a reply guy and just reply to anything that looks remotely interesting or worth replying to. It's a good way to use Twitter. So anyways, here's my Club Momo list. I have a second list, which you see, I called it likes, and that's because it filters all of the tweets from this list, but I set it up to have a minimum filter of the number of likes. So it should have more than 2 likes. And I just did this so I can see all of, like, quote unquote, like the hot tweets within this list that I should maybe like go engage with, and scroll through this. And it's just like a way quicker scroll than the entire list where you get a lot of GMs and replies and stuff. If you have like a minimum little like filter, it ups quality of the tweets and gives you more stuff to work with. So that's what I use this one for. And you see there are a lot of different ways you can use it. I always also use latest tweets first, but there are all kinds of different filters. Like if you want to look for certain words, and you can start to do broad Twitter searching with all these different filters and get really creative with it, like to find, I don't know, new alpha and stuff. And you can exclude words if you don't want to see giveaways or GMs or whatever. So that's how that stuff works. Here is a list that I made, or rather it's a search for anybody mentioning Club Momo, and it's not from me. That way I can just see what people are talking about, and I have the same thing for Lizard Lab. And the reason that you see me not interacting with some of these is because I've interacted with them on the Lizard Lab account, and I try not to double interact because I don't want to piss Twitter off, because I've dealt with that too much and I don't want to get in trouble. So that's how I use like this for Club Momo stuff. I encourage you, like, definitely set up some lists, set up like these Club Momo lists so you can interact with each other better. And if we all do this, it's going to be better for everybody, I promise. That is exactly how this stuff works. Like, I've worked in many different sectors and business types doing social media stuff, and a lot of things rely on these different terms for engagement circles or pods, and it's extremely powerful the way that the algorithms work and reward content that people are engaging with. So we can kind of trick the algorithm and be a show force on Twitter. And I promise, it's just, there's so many reasons. I could go on about this for a long time about why it's good if everybody does this. So that's the idea there. I'll just poke through my other ones of how I'm using it like personally. Here I have my regular notifications. Here are tweets mentioning me, which is like a little bit different than notifications. It's like direct replies and stuff. And these are things that I always want to, interact with. It's been a busy day, so I've kind of missed some of these. Whenever I see these, I just block them. These spam tweets. And yeah, so that is tweets mentioning me. Again, that's just a search. And I set that up you can add column, and that was just a search. And I set it up for my username and then added those filters. And then engage is just a Twitter list that I made of like people that I want to engage with. I actually should make this a search because I'm getting retweets. So I'm going to do that right now actually and rename it my engage list. And I see I'm getting a lot of replies now. So I'm going to set it to more than 2 likes. And this will instantly make this list like way better to interact with. So that's my engage list of just like people that I want to kind of reply guy with. Like I just kind of scroll through these and, you know, interact at whenever I see fit, and I reply whenever possible. And then finally, my feeds, which is just my home feed. And as you can see, compared to like the 2 decks that we were just looking at, like the home feed is just like, this is what the Twitter feed looks like. No wonder people don't use it much. Like it's fine, but it's also just so much stuff and like just not as good as these focused lists that you can make. And then again, like another list, like tweets to engage with. Let me again turn off retweets. I just made all this stuff, and this isn't a formal video, which is why it's a little sloppy still, but you get the idea. Again, here's my engage list. Like I don't really use this column as much. I just made it so because I just found myself bumping over to Twitter, and I wanted to live inside of Tweetdeck more and move more stuff over here. So that's what I'm doing here. And then again, my notifications. So this is just like kind of my regular Twitter. We can even call it like Twitter home, and that is easy. And then for Zen Academy, I'm just using like Zen follow Zen and the same list. I did that same exact list structure that I did for Club Momo, except I did it in Zen Academy. And it's just so I can interact with more people in the community. And you could do this for like every community. You know, I know you're not only in here. And I would encourage you to add other communities that you're a part of and set up similar lists. If you can get like a holders list, you know, tweets that are mentioning the community that you want to pay attention to, like the Lizard Lab, and then filter it by like, you know, make sure it just has like at least 1 like and go interact with people, because it all adds up. It is a very good idea to do this, especially while the market's slow and stuff. You want to just be active and be networking and growing your network. It is all absolutely worth it, I promise. That's all. This was supposed to be fast. I guess this is kind of fast. Yeah, hope it's useful. Let me know if you have any questions, and see you later.